Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Today's video is going to be a bit of it's going to be a lot. So basically, Toastify, another YouTuber, has posted a video about Pyrocynical and Ancient Reality and the French girl situation. Now, if you don't know the French girl situation, I'm going to put a little disclaimer here. If you're sensitive to very deep topics about child abuse, sexual assault, just anything along the lines of pedophilia, stuff like that, if that stuff kind of triggers you, click off, because it's gonna get a little deep, it's gonna get a little heavy, it's gonna get a little crazy. But to start off the video, I do want to kind of just promote the fact that Toastify is the video that you should be watching, not my video. And also this stream from a guy named Connor talks about it deeply. Watch these two things, because these things are a lot bigger than my video. The purpose of my video is that I want to spread a bigger message, because I feel like this situation continuously gets brought up and then gets ignored purely because of the fact that either not enough people are talking about it, or too many people are just spreading stupid misinformation. And my video is not going to be adding information into the mix. I just kind of want to recap the situation so that there's a little bit more awareness here. So like I said, check out Toastify's video, because it's a very in-depth, it's got proof, it's got all of the stuff you need for these situations. My video is not going to have ample amounts of proof and all that stuff, because I'm just going off of what Toastify has posted. Just want to make that very clear. But basically, if you don't know the French girl situation, it was a situation brought up way back in the day during the, the prime years of the commentary years, when Leafy was around and all these big content creators were around. Keemstar brought up the fact that he was dating a 14-year-old French girl. Turns out it's all true. So in Toastify's video, he basically proves the fact that he was in a relationship with this 14-year-old girl. I will say that Pyrocynical is not as malicious and as scary as Ancient Reality. We will get into Ancient Reality in a second here, but I just want to talk about Pyrocynical and how I feel like people are going to brush him under the rug during this situation just purely because of Ancient Reality. There is zero reasoning for Pyrocynical to get brushed under the rug. The guy wanted to have sex with her. Of course, he actually didn't, but he literally explicitly said he is okay with waiting till she's 16 to have sex with her. Keep in mind, this is a 5-year age gap. He was 19 and she was 14. No matter how way you spin it, no matter how way you say it, this is disgusting. It is not okay. It is gross. It is weird. It is wrong. And I will say that back in the day, I brushed it under the rug when I was younger, because I thought not enough evidence, right? Even though the evidence was pretty much sitting right in front of our face, a lot of us just kind of ignored it, right? Because everybody just sat around and said, well, nothing's coming out yet. No one's talking about it, so it must mean she's lying, right? It must mean that there's no evidence, there's no proof. And I was one of those people who kind of considered it as just a nothing burger. And I'm just really glad that Toastify and all these people worked to getting the real truth out there, which I'm glad, right? But like I said, this does not vindicate Pyrocynical or make Pyrocynical look any better, right? He dated a fucking 14-year-old when he was 19. That is terrible. That is disgusting. I understand that he broke up with her and that he never actually had any sexual intercourse with her or anything like that, but still, it is disgusting to say the least that he even had a relationship with her to begin with and has admitted to having a relationship with her in the first place. But this brings us into Ancient Reality. So basically what happened was Pyrocynical, when he broke up with her, she moved on to a new guy. Ancient Reality is a friend of Pyrocynical, a 24-year-old. She was 15 at the time. So we're talking about a 9-year age gap. This guy is genuinely, and I mean genuinely, probably one of the biggest and worst creeps I've seen on the platform. I mean, we've seen people like Linemaker, we've seen people like EDP. What this guy has done to this girl is, I don't even know where to begin. It's a lot. So like I said, check out Toastify's video for the more deeper subjects, but a lot of it involves, the R word, a lot of it involves self-harm, forced self-harm, like sending this girl razors and encouraging her to do these disgusting things, transporting her, from country to country, because you know how Europe works. Trains are basically the main way of transportation. She would basically travel around. He lived in the Netherlands, she lived in France. They would travel around, and the main area that Toastify talked about was Amsterdam, which Amsterdam has the red light district, which is basically where a lot of people, stand in that glass box, these women, basically not clothed or barely clothed. And there's a lot of sex shops, smoking, all that stuff. It's just a lot. It's a lot to take in at Amsterdam. Keep in mind, this girl's like 15. believe 15, 16 at the time, going to these places. This guy made sure that she lied to her own parents about his age, made him sound like he was a lot younger, and he even lied to his parents about her age, making her sound a lot older. It's, like I said, there's so much in the mix that it's like, I don't even know if I can list really everything off. It's just a lot of disgusting, deplorable shit, and it's just disgusting to me. And like I said, a lot of this shit is proven, right? He was in relationship with her. Now, there isn't any proof of this sort of abuse happening due to the sheer fact of a lot of deleting of a lot of things, right, from this specific person. But there are a lot of things that Toastify does to kind of put pieces together to prove that there was a relationship there, and there was at least, you know, for example, the Amsterdam incident that was there, and a lot of the sexual things that he has done, they piece things together.
Alongside this picture and testimony that Lou had given, we would later find evidence to support her story. When we inspected AncientReality's last upload, You Wouldn't Steal a Meme. When investigating the contents of the video, we realized that approximately a minute in, a store called Old Sailor is shown. Upon googling the location, we discovered it to be a pub located in none other than Amsterdam's red light district.
Basically making you kind of go, I'm on the girl's side, right? There's no way you can piece all these things together and tell me that she's not lying. She has pictures and proof of razor blades that he sent to her, just not the consistent self-harm that this guy made towards himself to force her to stay in the relationship, which is, you know, it's a tough thing to prove. I will agree, but I will put alleged on those things right here and right now, because, you know, if this comes back to bite me, I guess, right? But there's just so much that I just don't see how you can really disprove this. There's really not a lot to disprove from this situation, especially when Toastify and all these other people have laid it down, right? They have did as much work as they could to prove it. Now, after bringing this up to you, I just want to talk about a few things. The people that they talk to during these situations. It is extremely sketchy to me that a person by the name, I think it's Cyrek, I think it's Cyrek, another content creator who is friends with Mick or AncientReality. When they talked to him about AncientReality, they found out about a second channel, and when they brought up the fact that they were doing this because of allegations about AncientReality, Cyrek ghosted these guys. He completely ghosted them. He walked away from it and didn't even try to prove AncientReality's innocence, nothing, just literally stepped away from it. And the sheer amount of people who refuse to talk to these guys about it is extremely sketchy to me. Another content creator who promised this girl that he would talk about it and just ended up not talking about it. Now, this is going to be in the stream by the guy named Connor. I'm going to leave it in the description. Like I said, watch these two videos. A gamer from Mars promised this girl that he was going to make a video about it. He got an interview from her and everything, and then for some reason, radio silence, he didn't upload the video. Now, I would usually use this as a way to say, okay, this makes AncientReality and Pyro look very innocent because he didn't talk about it. But at the same time, why would you just walk away from an incident like this and never bring it up ever again? If the guy found out that she was lying, why wouldn't you bring it to the public that Pyro is innocent and this girl was lying, right? If there was some sort of evidence or proof showing that, hey, she's a liar and Pyrocynical is just 100% innocent, why would you not bring that to the table? That's something that I don't really understand. Why would you just walk away from it after promising this girl, this SA victim, this literal victim of pedophilia, that you would upload a video just to not do it? And I think a lot of it has to do with outside issues, which is where it brings me to Keemstar, where I think there's a lot of outside things with AncientReality, maybe threats, maybe stuff like that, that's going around, that's stopping a lot of these content creators who are promising to make videos or saying they'll talk about it to just radio silence. Because like I said, there's literally zero reasoning for the amount of people who bring up this person just to go radio silent right after. If he's innocent, prove his innocence. There is literally zero reasoning as to why you have to keep it silent and keep it quiet. I just, like, I don't know. I just don't get that. I don't get that logic. I don't get it at all. It doesn't really make any fucking sense to me how you would just walk away from it and just say, you know what, I'm just not going to talk about it. Because why would I? If you are hyping up something like this, if you're bringing something to the table like this and you just walk away, you look like a fucking scumbag. Like I said, if someone does somehow come out of this situation saying Toastify is lying and here's proof, you know, fine. I'm sorry. You know, I'm wrong for siding with Toastify. I'm wrong for siding with all these people. But the proof is in the pudding. It's right here. It's right here for for everyone to see. I don't see how you can prove any of this disgusting behavior wrong. I don't. A lot of the, you know, quote unquote abuse is very alleged, but a lot of pieces you can put together. But to get right back into the mix of things, basically Mick, aka Ancient Reality, just completely abandoned the channel and moved to a new channel called Prince of Zimbabwe, where he basically just uploaded, you know, kind of meme shit. And he also had a alleged channel called Tender Tomato, I believe. That one's very, very alleged. It's not exactly, they couldn't exactly prove that that was him, but Prince of Zimbabwe was 100%. They broke it down, they figured it out, they proved it. Another thing that I do want to talk about is the friends that were trying to call out Pyrocynical way back in the day. As for one of them, Meme Corp, basically just a meme channel, had sex with a 15-year-old. It's just like, this is what I mean. It's a big sketchy just mess of confusion. And I'm not saying that Toastify is wrong, and I'm not saying that they got all of this wrong. They put so much effort and time into making sure that the truth is coming out and that people are speaking about this and people are talking about this. Like I said, it feels like there's a deeper reasoning for why a lot of people can't talk about it, because like I said, there's literally zero reasoning for a lot of these people to not come out with reasons to just vindicate Pyrocynical. So basically, to kind of recap what I've said so far, Pyrocynical had a relationship with a 14-year-old when he was 19. He then broke up with this person. People tried to talk about it and bring it up and try to, you know, get him caught for it. Not enough proof. Wasn't considered a pedophile at the time. This girl went on to date a guy by the name of AncientReality, where he physically abused her. He R-worded her, groomed her at the age of 15 with a 9-year age gap. He introduced her to self-harm and even watched her do it and encouraged her to do it. He also got her to come out to Amsterdam, where she would go to sex shops with him, sex museums, and he put her through so much trauma that she was fucked for years, stuck in a mental hospital trying to, you know, get better. I forgot to mention that he also got her to completely delete her entire Twitter, you know, social media accounts. He watched her do that. He was sitting there watching her as she deleted everything, because my assumption is because he doesn't want anybody to discover the tracks when maybe the relationship is over, you know, stuff like that. Because again, this guy is a fucking creep and a weirdo. There was also a bunch of stuff about him and like fucking a minion or just buying the toys at these sex shops for himself, not for her. Don't really know what the significance of those things have to do with, you know, the girl in itself, but again, it's just kind of more proof that the guy's kind of a fucking weirdo and a creep. I do encourage a lot of other content creators to talk about this subject just because people need to talk about it. A big reason why this stuff has been swept under the rug for years is because a lot of content creators just choose to not talk about it. Please talk about it. I feel like people, even making a video like mine, I know that this isn't me exactly bringing proof to the table, but it brings somewhat of relevance to it, right? It shouts, you know, it's shouting from the rooftop. I'm trying my best to get the attention of other people. I know that I'm only a 400 sub channel, but I feel like people talking about it is going to get people to see it. It's going to get people to notice it. It's going to get people to watch Toastify's video. It's going to get people to just realize the disgusting behavior that is, you know, Ancient Reality and Pyrocynical, the shit that they have done. You know, I feel like people talking about it is extremely important, and I see no reason why people shouldn't talk about it. I feel like this is such a big situation, and I feel like people need to bring this up on streams, on videos, just in general, because it is such a huge topic. But with that being said, guys, there's not much else I can add. Like I said, please go watch Toastify's video and this stream as well for more information to really, you know, understand the situation, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.